Hello dear students. So today we are going to see the topic common emitter and common collector configuration of transistor under the chapter the study of transistor. So last time we already saw how common base configuration works, and now today we are going to see common emitter configuration. So here in this figure we see this is a common emitter configuration. So look, this is emitter which has an arrow, this is base and this is collector. Now input is applied between base terminal and emitter terminal. So input is connected to base, emitter is commonly connected to base, as well as emitter is commonly connected to collector. So this is input port, this is output port, and emitter is common. So as we see, this transistor is NPN type. So we know the condition that base emitter junction must be forward bias. So accordingly we are connecting the positive terminal of battery to the P region of the base and negative terminal of the battery to N terminal of the emitter. Similarly, at output side, the output junction, that is collector junction, must be reverse bias. So in order to make collector reverse bias, we are going to connect positive terminal of the battery to collector and negative terminal to the common emitter. So here when we apply input signal, we get the current IB. So conventional direction of current is from positive to negative. So this is direction of IB. This is direction of IC, because of conventional direction is from positive to negative. And when IB and IC enters the transistor, it leaves the transistor through emitter terminal, and we know that IE is equal to IB plus IC. Now we know that when IE is equal to IB plus IC, so how much current is flowing through IB and how much current is flowing through IC, that decides the amplification factor, that is how much signal is provided to input and how much actually amplified in the output port. So the current amplification factor in case of common emitter transistor, we are going to see the current amplification factor IB in case of common emitter. Here we have beta, that is nothing but a current amplification factor. So here beta is nothing but change in output current, and output current is collector current. So delta IC with respect to change in, that means divided by change in IB. Obviously this emitter terminal is common. So generally here you see, you know that IE is equal to IB plus IC, and we know that base is very lightly doped, and so a very small amount of current passes through base. So naturally the value of IB is very small with respect to value of IC, and therefore beta is always greater than 1. That is the thing, and typically it ranges from say 20 to several hundreds. This is the case. So now we already saw that is alpha, and we already saw the beta. It is a current amplification factor. This is also current amplification factor. So output side current, that is IC, the ratio of IC with respect to IE, that gives us alpha, and IC with respect to IB, that gives beta. Now we are going to think about what is relation between alpha and beta. So see here, we know that alpha is equal to change in collector current, that is IC, with respect to change in emitter current IE, that we know. And now in case of this, we also saw beta is equal to delta IC upon IB. So beta is equal to delta IC upon delta IB. So this is the second equation that we know. But in case of transistor, we know that IE is equal to IB plus IC, and therefore if we make certain changes in this IE, that is if we make some change, that is delta IE, then there it is a corresponding change in delta IB, that is delta IB plus delta IC. So here from this we can write delta IB is equal to this delta IE minus delta IC, delta IE minus delta IC. So we have got the value of delta IB, and we have already here it is delta IB. So we can put the value of delta IB in equation 2. So equation 2 becomes, that is beta is equal to delta IC upon IB is equal to delta IE minus delta IC. So now if we divide, that is dividing numerator and denominator by delta IE, so we get beta is equal to this delta IC upon delta IE divided by delta IE upon delta IE, that turns to be 1, minus delta IC upon delta IE, and that is, we know that delta IC upon delta IE is alpha. Here the term is alpha and here it is 1, so we can write beta is equal to 1 upon delta IC upon, that is alpha upon 1 minus alpha. So this is the relation between beta and alpha, that we can say beta is equal to alpha divided by 1 minus alpha. This is the relation between alpha and beta. So here we see this is 1 and this is alpha. If the value of alpha is 1, then 1 minus 1 is equal to 0, and when this term becomes 0, the beta becomes infinite. So that is why when alpha approaches unity, that is 1, beta approaches to infinity. That is the relation between alpha and beta that we should know. Now here we know that beta is equal to alpha divided by 1 minus alpha. So from this we can write, that is beta into this 1 minus alpha, that is equal to alpha. So here we get beta minus beta times alpha is equal to alpha, and so from this we can say beta is equal to alpha times 1 plus beta. So this is alpha, this minus term becomes plus here, that is alpha plus beta alpha, alpha is common, so 1 plus beta, and from this we can say this gives us alpha is equal to beta divided by 1 plus beta. So remember the relation of alpha and beta. So beta is equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha, but alpha is equal to beta upon 1 plus beta. This is the relation between alpha and beta. So let us consider the expression for collector current. So here we see this is a collector current, and what is an expression for collector current in this common emitter configuration that we are going to see. So we already know that is IE is equal to IB plus IC, where IB is input current and IC is output current. So here let us consider this is expression 1. This is equation 1. So, and we know that IC is equal to alpha times IE plus ICBO. This is expression 2. So now remember that what this, we know that alpha is equal to IC upon IE, so IC is equal to alpha IE, that is okay. But this ICBO, remember that here it is, O stands for, we know that base side is open here. So from this IC is equal to alpha times IE, but we know that I is equal to IB plus IC, so we can write IB plus IC plus ICBO. So here, therefore, we can write IC is equal to alpha IB plus alpha times IC plus ICBO. So here we are transferring this term to left, we get IC minus alpha times IC is equal to alpha IB plus ICBO. So here IC is common, so we get 1 minus alpha is equal to alpha times IB plus ICBO. So therefore IC is equal to, now this term is multiplying here, it will be divided by, it will divide the term, that is alpha times IB upon 1 minus alpha plus this ICBO 1 minus alpha. So this is, let us consider expression 3. So here in expression 3, if IB is equal to 0, and when IB is equal to 0, if we keep this base terminal open, so there will be no current IB. So when no current IB is there, so in circuit we see that only this collector and emitter junction, which is in reverse bias situation, is functioning, and we know that as IB is equal to 0, the current in the circuit flowing is only due to leakage current, and that is ICBO So here when IB is equal to 0, only this term is present in the circuit. So that you should remember. So when IB is equal to 0, and this is happening when base is open, that you should remember. So then we can say no question comes of flowing current, so we get directly, we know that IE is equal to IB plus IC, but we are considering this term is 0, so that gives us IC is exactly equal to IE. So this current which is flowing through ammeter is nothing but that is equal to ICBO. ICEO. That means when base is open, the current between collector and emitter is known as ICEO. So substituting, so here we can say that ICEO now is equal to, this term is 0, so that is ICBO upon 1 minus alpha. So remember, this is current between collector and emitter when input is open, and here it is current between collector and base when input is open. So this is the relation. So here we have this value of ICEO, but in equation 3 we have already one term, that is ICBO upon 1 minus alpha. So we can replace this term by ICEO. So we get IC is equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha into IB plus this term is now is equal to ICEO, or we can say IC is equal to beta times, because of this is now beta times IB plus ICEO, and this is the relation, or we can say this is the relation of collector current in common emitter amplifier. This is equation 4. Okay, let us look at common collector connection. So see, here it is in this figure, you see that now this is base, this is emitter, and this is collector. This is emitter and this is collector. So we are talking about common collector connection. So here collector is commonly connected to base, as well as collector is commonly connected to emitter also, that you should. So input signal is connected between base and this terminal collector, and output resistance is connected between emitter and collector. So here this transistor is again NPN type. So remember that we can draw circuit for PNP also as well as NPN. So we are considering this is NPN. So we know that base junction must be forward bias. So base region is P here. So P is connected to positive, and common emitter is connected. Common collector is connected to negative. Similarly, here output is taken across emitter. So emitter is connected, that is this junction, collector emitter junction must be reverse bias. So here this is NPN, so N is connected to positive, so that is why this junction is reverse bias. So here input signal is applied, the input signal is generally AC, that is applied here, and while studying common collector configuration, it is important to note that at DC ground, here this is a DC ground. Because VCC source has zero resistance to AC, when we connect AC here, the DC has zero resistance to AC ideally for an AC signal. So if we consider this, we can say that the collector is common terminal between input and output for AC signal. So in short, we can look at the circuit in this way. Here it is shown. So here this is base to which input signal is connected, okay, and now here this is a collector, and output is taken, look carefully, output is taken across the resistance connected to emitter, which is connected to ground, whereas collector is connected to positive terminal, so we call it VCC also. See, remember there are some terminologies VCC. So here collector is connected to positive terminal, that is VCC, emitter is connected to emitter resistance and connected to ground, and output is taken across emitter. So this is basic structure of this common collector configuration. Here it is IB, IC and IE, and the relation as it is, that is IE is equal to IB plus IC. So the input voltage in common collector configuration is base collector voltage, and the output voltage is emitter collector voltage, that you should remember, and the input current is IB and the output current is emitter current, that is IE, passing through this resistance, which gives us the output voltage. So in this common collector configuration, we can say that this common collector configuration is the reverse of common emitter configuration, as the RL is connected to emitter, that is RE, instead of collector. And here basically the common collector is used where high impedance input source needs to be connected to low output load requiring high current gain. So here in this case of common collector, the current gain is given by gamma is equal to change in emitter current, that is delta IE, divided by change in input current, that is delta IB. And for your understanding, remember that the relation between gamma and beta is gamma is equal to beta plus 1. So far we saw alpha, we saw beta, and we saw gamma. So here it is for common base configuration, here it is for common emitter configuration, and this is for common collector. So in this case it is a ratio of IC upon IE, this is ratio of IC upon IB, and this is ratio of delta, that is IE upon IB, so that you should remember. Now let us consider the characteristics of common base configuration. So here we are going to study basically the input characteristics of the common base configuration and output characteristics of common base configuration. So now you see the circuit here, it is shown this is a common base configuration. So in this common base configuration, here it is base is common, input side is connected to emitter, that is IE is the current, and output side base is common and collector current is flowing through collector. So we are talking about the input configuration and input characteristics. So here you see that this is emitter base collector, the transistor is NPN type. So we know that emitter base junction should be forward bias and base collector junction should be reverse bias. So here to to make this forward, this N is connected to negative polarity and base, that is a P region, is connected to positive polarity, and the voltage applied across emitter and base is VEB, or even you can say that is VBE, because of B is connected to positive polarity as per our convention. So here this is simply acting as a diode. So we know that for silicon knee voltage is 0.7 volt and for germanium knee voltage is 0.3 volt. So if you increase VEB for silicon in the steps of 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, so up to 0.7 volt there will be no current IE through the junction, because of it is a knee voltage, and below knee voltage there is no current. For if the transistor is silicon germanium, so that knee voltage is 0.3 volt, and later on it starts to conduct and the current IE flows through it. So graph of IE versus VEB is actually giving us the input characteristics. But for studying these characteristics, it is important that the voltage across collector and base VCB should be constant. And we already know that IE is equal to IB plus IC. So here the graph shows that this is voltage across emitter base and this is emitter current, and here VCB is 1 volt. So we observe that up to knee voltage VEB is increasing, but there is no change in emitter current. But after knee voltage current rapidly increases. So when here it is VCB is equal to 1 volt, here VCB is equal to 10 volt, what we observe is that same case, up to knee voltage there is no emitter current flow, but after that it suddenly increases or rapidly increases. Similarly when it is 20 volt. So remember that we are changing VCB from 1 to 10 to 20. We are making a large change in VCB, but we observe almost same kind of curve, same nature, and there is no large difference between this curve. So here from we can say that the change in collector current basically depends on the VEB. Okay, so VCB does not affect much on this current. So this is what input characteristics of the common base configuration. So here common base configuration, it is the curve between emitter current IE and base voltage VEB at constant voltage that we saw. Second, for fixed VCB, that is VCB is equal to 1, this is the curve. VCB is equal to 10, this is the curve. IE increases rapidly with small increase in emitter base voltage. So see here it is up to knee voltage, we don't get IE, but later on if we change the VEB, a very small change causes a large current change in the circuit emitter base, and it resembles simply like a diode, forward bias diode. So input resistance in common base is very small, as we know that forward bias diode is very small. Emitter current is independent of collector base voltage that we already saw, though we are changing it by 10 times, but almost the current which we are getting is same, there is no large variation in this. So this emitter current is independent of the VCB, it only depends on VEB. Transistor remains cut off when VEB is less than certain small voltage. So below knee voltage transistor or that junction does not conduct and it remains in cut off state. So here input resistance Ri delta VEB upon delta IE. So we know that according to Ohm's law V is equal to IR. So obviously it gives R is equal to V upon I, but here voltage applied is voltage across emitter base and current which we are measuring is IE. So input resistance is delta VEB upon delta I at constant VCB. So let us consider output characteristics of common base configuration. So here you see the same circuit in which now we studied this. We are going to talk about output. So at output, the voltage across collector base is VCB and current flowing is IC. So we are going to change the VCB and we are going to observe current IC in the circuit. So here in case of common base, but remember that when we are changing VCB and observing IC, we must keep that voltage across emitter base constant. So if this voltage is kept constant, obviously the current flowing through emitter will be constant, that we need to keep constant. So here it is. This is the graph which shows output characteristics of common base transistor. So see here it is. This is VCB, the voltage which we are going to across collector and base. So initially it is 0. Okay. So now if we keep it 0, okay, we can increase it like 1, 2, and even we can decrease it like -1, -2. But remember that when it is less than this, that means we are reversing the polarity, and this junction, instead of reverse bias, it will become forward bias. Note that presently it is reverse bias, it is 0 volt. So if we increase 1, 2, 3, 4 volt, it will still be reverse bias. But if we decrease below 0, that means it will act as the polarity is reverse and it will become forward bias. So in that case, see here, this is 0 volt line. So this is negative voltage. Negative voltage means what? This battery will act as here it is negative and positive, and this junction will become forward bias. So this will also forward bias and this will also forward bias. So large amount of current will flow through the circuit, and that region is called as a saturation region. So remember, on VCB curve, the voltage to the left of 0 volt, the total region is called as a saturation region, and we cannot use transistor as an amplifier in this saturation region. That you remember, that is saturation region. So here, here it is IE is equal to 0. That means this current is 0. Current flowing through this is IE is 0. So IE is 0 means here we have connected VEB is equal to 0. Now this is 0, and here we are increasing this voltage VCB, but we know that this junction is reverse bias, and so though IEB, this IE is 0, we are increasing VCB. When this IE is equal to 0, a very small amount of leakage current is flowing through the reverse bias junction. So here through this a very small amount of leakage current flows, and that is ICBO, reverse saturation current, and that is here. So remember that the region below this curve, that is where IE is equal to 0, some amount of IC which we get, that is exactly equal to ICBO. The region below this is called as a cutoff region. So again, below cutoff region we cannot use transistor for amplification purpose. So this is the only region which is an active region in which we can use transistor as an amplifier. So remember that. So when we apply the, say I is equal to 0, now we are increasing I is equal to 1. So when I is equal to 1, so now we know that IE is equal to IB plus IC. You should never forget these things. Okay, so relation. So when I is equal to 1 milliampere, you will see that if you go on increasing this voltage, so diode slowly current increases and it becomes constant. So that means here you are observing that only a small part of change in VCB, there is actually a rise in collector current. but after that the collector current remains constant. So this rise from this level to this level to this is not due to VCB, but due to it is emitter current. So as emitter current increases, we can say that collector current in the circuit increases. So that is what output characteristics. So go on changing emitter current, you will see that the collector current is increasing. So now we saw this is cutoff region, this is saturation region. In case of cutoff region, both the junctions, that is emitter base and collector, this emitter and base junction and collector and base junction, both are reversed in cutoff region. Both junctions are forward in saturation region, and this is the only region in which input junction, that is emitter base junction, is forward bias and base collector junction is reverse bias. That you should know. So we saw that here it is the curve between IC, that is a collector current, and here it is VCB. So this is VCB at constant IE. The collector current IC varies with VCB. The collector current, this is IC, which varies with VCB. But remember that only at very low voltages. So in this region only it varies, but after that the current becomes constant, and the transistor is never used in this region. Here when VCB is raised up to some voltage, say 1 to 2 volt, the collector current becomes constant. It indicates that IC is independent of VCB. So here collector current is constant. So the effect of rise in VCB does not affect this, and so it is independent of VCB. For IE is equal to 0, here we see this is IE is equal to 0. Collector current is simply reverse saturation current of the collector junction, that is ICBO. The output characteristics has basic three regions that we saw, that is saturation region, active region, and cutoff region. So remember, in cutoff both junctions are reverse bias. In saturation region both junctions are forward bias, and active region input junction, that is base emitter junction, is forward, and collector base junction is reverse bias. So these are the regions. So we saw active region, cutoff region, and saturation region. So here it is output resistance can be measured by ratio of delta VCB with respect to delta IC. So here you see that the change in VCB, say between these, is 5, but here you observe that there is no change in collector current. So this value is very high and this value is very low. So the output resistance of common base configuration is very high and is the order of tens of kilo ohms, that you remember for solving the problems. So let us consider common emitter configuration. So let us consider characteristics of common emitter configuration. So this is common emitter configuration. So see here, in this emitter is common, the input is connected to base, and here output side is connected to collector. So we know that emitter base junction must be forward bias, as this is NPN transistor, N is connected to negative, P is connected to positive, and the collector junction must be reverse bias. So this is NPN, so N is connected to positive of the battery and emitter is connected to negative of the battery. So similarly, now you can see that first thing we are going to do, that we are going to change input voltage, that is voltage across base and emitter, and we are observing the change in IB. So we know that this is a diode, it is connected in forward mode, so characteristics would be as if it is a diode, forward characteristics. We know up to knee voltage there will be no current, but after knee voltage there will be a sudden rise in current. So here you see this, that VEB 0.2, 0.4, 0.6. So here we have considered silicon diode. So here it is, see, 0 up to 0.2 up to 0.3 almost there is no, but after 0.3 there will be a slight rise in current, remember that. So this kind of things are there, and then when VBE is increased there will be sudden rise in current. So here it is, VCE is equal to 1, 10 and 20 volt, the graph shows. Again you observe here that up to knee voltage there is no change in base current, but after knee voltage there it is a very small change in VB, but there it is a large change in base current. So we can say that now here we are increasing this, we find that IB is increasing, but you observe that for all these different values of VC the curve is almost same. So that means IB is independent of this VC, IB depends only on VPE. So here this is the input characteristics of this. So here it is the curve between IB and VEB at constant VCE. For fixed VC, IB increases rapidly. So VC is fixed, IB increases rapidly with small increase in emitter base VEB, and it resembles the diode characteristics. As compared to common base current configuration, current increases less rapidly in common emitter configuration. So here you see that the current is in microampere. We know that I is equal to IB plus IC, and we know that alpha is equal to IC upon IB, and almost 95 to 98% of emitter current flows through collector current. So about 2 to 4% current flows through the base, and that is why it is very small, it is in microampere, and so the current is in microamperes. The curve indicates that input resistance in common emitter configuration is greater than common base configuration. So you can see this. So input resistance Ri is equal to delta VEB upon delta IE at constant VCE, that we saw, and the value of Ri is of the order of few hundred ohms. So now let us consider output characteristics of common emitter configuration. So to the output side, current flowing is IC, and voltage between emitter and collector is VCE. So we are going to plot the graph of IC versus VC, but note that at that time the input side current IB will be constant. So by keeping VB constant we can maintain IB constant. So it is curve between, so let us see that. So this is output characteristics. It is curve between IC and emitter base voltage VCE. Here you see that IB is constant. Okay, so this is cutoff region, this is saturation region. So when you increase VCE, voltage across collector emitter, when IB is equal to 0, you get some collector current. So collector current increases up to this level. That means during a very small part of VC, collector current increases rapidly, but after that collector current remains constant. If you increase the value of IB, you will see that for the same VCE there is a rise in collector current, and this way collector current increases with increase in IB. So that is to be remembered. The collector current IC varies with VCE only, at very low voltages. So at very low voltage you see that the collector current is increasing and later on it is constant. So here when Vc is raised above 1 volt, the collector current becomes constant, indicates that Ic is independent of Vce and depends only on Ib that we already saw. So output character, the voltage Vc up to which there is change in collector current is called as a knee voltage. So this collector current change is up to knee voltage and later on it becomes stable. The transistor is always operated in the region where Vc is greater than the knee voltage, that is called as a active region, and above knee voltage current Ic is almost constant. So this is what output characteristics of common emitter configuration. Okay, thank you very much.